So you need a conversion plug or something?
Yeah.
Man, that's interesting. But then they got the search.
Can you see it?
Oh no, I ain't messing with it. Oh, we live? What up, YouTubies? Oh yeah, yeah, that's it right there. Oh, I'm terrible. Yeah, 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 I see it. I see. I gotta turn it down for that interference. Right. So, you see anybody? Let me see. So you watching? Hey, what up, y'all? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Testing something here, but let me know if you in the chat. You can hear me. Yo, 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 yo. Yep. Can anybody hear me? Yo. Hey, Ricky Skills. Hey, what up, man? Hey, Ricky Skizzios, man. Good looking, man. I heard you swung due to the spot. Hey, man, can I get some? Can I get some pub? Can I get some pub, Ricky Skills? Can I come up there and get on the radio? I want to get on the radio too, man. What we talking about? Skills? Is we talking the Astro part, or we talking real estate and wealth? Plug me up, man. I want to get on. You know. What up, SOS Rio? What's happening? What's going on? So do me a favor, man. The few that's in here, click the thumbs up button real fast, because I want to work on something. Then I just want to share something with y'all real fast. Crypto Scales, what up? What's good? What's going on? What's up, party people? What's up? I'm really sleepy, for real. Zigzagger, what up? Huh? What's that? Oh, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm grinding, man. I'm cool. Everything good? That's what's up. All right, man. So the few in here, come on. Let's get the thumbs up, man. Let's go. Let's get the thumbs up so we can build on something. Get into a quick Q&A, and then we up out of here. Let's see, I'm getting stuff off my hand. All right, so y'all can hear me, right? Cool. That light bright. I can see how it reflects off the board. But it's cool. Go ahead, hit the other option. Let me see what happens. It may go to a yellow. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Ain't no bright in my face. Cool. All right. So look, real fast, man. Hey, Ricky Skills, man. Zigzagger, what up, man? Serious Ricky Skills, let's do it. All right, so, man, I had an awesome conversation with a brother earlier who called me, and it had dawned on me that I never really shared this particular piece. But the conversation it was real estate related, but it's Venus related. It's about your values. And hopefully you can follow along and understand something. And so it gives me a call about some real estate, want to get in and do something together, identify something that we're going to do together. And I'm going to give you a rough, because Venus represents your values, right? And for me, when I was born, I had Venus in the 10th house, which is the region of the sky. This is the house of career, the house of fame, the house of reputation, the house of success, right? Tammy Holloway, what's happening? And so for me, the Venus placement is absolutely the planet that's in the highest point of the sky. If you really understand the zodiac wheel, ladies and gentlemen, you have planets that are ascending and then they're descending, okay, according to your wheel. And so for me, Venus is highly placed in the sky because it's in the 10th house. Again, the 10th house in the birth chart represents your career. It represents your, again, it's your success, it's your ambition, because it's the highest region of space. So your midhaven in the 10th house, you need to identify that. All right, so I'm gonna give you an example or something. So say, for example, we say, hey, here's an opportunity where you can put up $12,000, and in return you get a 10% return on your money, which is $1,200, okay? And it's gonna pay in a year. So that makes sense. It's equivalent. $1,200 gonna pay in a year. That means that's the equivalent of making $100 a month in interest, right? So you get your whole money back, the $12,000 back in month 12. All right, so every month this thing is gonna pay you $100, okay? Now, in the real estate business, what happens is, in really business period, what happens is they'll take your money and they will annualize it. Now, let's just say you get the same $12,000 and you agree to give them a 10% return, which is $1,200 in a year. But say you don't use the money for a whole year. Say you only use their money for 6. Is it fair for you to give them a whole $1,200? So what they would do is, you got your calculator, pull a calculator real fast for me. Take $1,200. Y'all gotta learn this shit, and then I want to show why we do what we do, especially for me. So take $1,200 and just simply divide it by 365 days. What's that?
3.28.
All right. So then your money is earning you in interest $3.28, right? So if you take $1,200 in interest, and this be going over people's heads, so we gotta take our time. We gotta understand this is important for us to become money conscious. Because see, remember, we're talking about Venus and values. All this shit is related, but you gotta understand that each planet is just a different aspect of your own psychology. So you have to be proficient in these areas. Venus actually rules relationships and marriage, and it rules money. And shit, these two be like two taboo things you could talk about, or one taboo thing that you can talk about in a relationship is money for the most part. So you gotta nail these principles down, okay? So here's the example. I'm saying a $12,000 investment is going to give you $1,200 in interest. It's going to take a year for you to get your $1,200. We can now say this is an annual return because it's on a yearly basis. We can take that 1,200 divided by 365 days, and that equals what?
3.78.
That's $3.78 a day. So here's the kicker. If I don't use your money for a year and only use it for, let's just say, 90 days, what's 378 times 90?
328, sorry.
What is it, 328?
Yeah.
So what's 328 times 90?
295, 20.
295. So then you only make $295 because you only the money was only used for 90 days. And this is what investors, especially in the real estate, when they flipping money. They're giving you your annual rate, but on a daily basis because they didn't use it for the entire term. Now, what I'm saying is, what I like to do in our ventures is, if I tell you $1,200 return, and it's going to be a year, but it may pay earlier, and it pays earlier, then you're going to get a flat out $1,200 return. Or even if you're out there and you're doing peer-to-peer lending or whatever, so you can start educating yourself. And again, none of this is advice. I'm just sharing my opinion. If you're going to educate yourself, then you may not necessarily, if you do an annual return, but it pay off sooner, you still want that particular number. You see what I'm saying? Just because a person pay you off earlier and they give you that, whatever that number was at 90 days, that's still what your money is absolutely worth. It just didn't go the entire 65-day term. You see what I'm saying? So you didn't take no L, it just didn't go to the length of the term. All right, I'm saying the benefits and the value. I love to bring over value. When you fuck with me and we do something and I tell you, yo, let's partner up, and we partner up and we did something, that's what I'm going to give you irregardless to the timeline, period, because it's overvaluing. So you always want to over deliver. And so what happened was I started, Scientific was good. I started to, in today's conversation, I wanted my man to really understand that difference between the two. And then I thought to myself, like, why do you do that? Even, looking at your own science and what can you share and give back to the people? Then I realized I got Venus in Aries. So now here's the kicker. Each planet naturally rules a zodiac sign that is at home. And then a planet can go through a particular sign and they say that it's debilitated or it doesn't do really well there, which translates to mean you may overcompensate in this area or you may undercompensate in this area. There's a challenge here. So Venus in Aries, Venus don't necessarily belong here. And it could be something that burns out in this sense, right? And I'm just looking at, for me, again, it being in the 10th house in the highest position, why do you, to a degree, overcompensate? Degree, not necessarily put yourself first, because see, the 10th house really deals with reputation, or it deals with other people. It deals with success and whatnot. So for me, it's, it could be seen as a, for lack of a better word, a challenge, right? But I really believe in delivering high value. So my question to you is going to be understanding your Venus placement. Venus is your values, and then it's also your money as well, right? Taking a look by house placement, right? I love the house placement. Taking a look through house placement, where do you have Venus at? And then that also tells you how you can get into partnerships. Because see, Venus represents harmony. It represents partnerships, both personal, close friendships, and marriage, okay? And so it will tell you how you should tap in to the principle of values, money, and relationships. So the 10th house, Venus in the 10th, like, oh shit, you want successful relationships, beautiful relationships that must be out in the public, and not necessarily something that may be in the cut. It may be something that's more public. The 10th house is, since it deals with success and career, and Venus is relationships, then it may give an indicator that you want a work wife. You know what I mean? You want a work husband, whatever it may be. So understanding the Venus placement gets you directly into what harmonizes you as the individual. What is your perception of harmony? Okay, what is your perception of harmony as an individual as it pertains to relationships, money, values? Okay, so give it to me in the chat. Where do you have Venus? All right. So I told y'all, let me know in the chat, and I'll help you out. So how y'all dig? We got a little new setup, a little something. I got some more stuff that's coming. But I told you we've been busy. I'm in the incubator. All right. So I told you we was building the studio out. It's a 2-bedroom apartment in the 8-plex building that we own. And one of the apartment units we use for, dialogue, conversation. I really want to get like you're watching the news and they got the high desk and you're talking, it sits 2 people so we can have some powerful conversation when I decide to start bringing guests through and whatnot. So since we're talking about money and values, you know what I'm saying, we gotta have good old Merrill Lynch, the bull horse, the bull back here with the shmoney, you know what I mean? Thank you, appreciate it. All right, so have my cake and eat it too. That's right, it's your cake. You should eat it too. You got Venus and Aquarius in the 6th house. That's such an interesting. That's funny. Especially for if you're a woman. I think your picture is a woman. That's dope. All right, so Venus and Aquarius is so funny because this is the Jew no-no. I keep telling y'all, when Jews see women with Venus and Aquarius, this is his no-no. All right, because Venus and Aquarius women tend to be adventurous, shall we say. And so Venus in the 6th house, though, I like it. It's that's that work, because the 6th house is work. It's the house of Virgo naturally. There's 3 Virgos that you would never outwork. I don't care. I don't even think Capricorn can outwork them. There's 3 Virgos that you can't outwork. It's called Michael Jackson, Beyonce, DJ Envy. Those 3 right there, you ain't outworking their ass. You know what I mean? They work for real. So Venus in the 6th is dope though because it gives straight harmony. Your money, your balance in relationship comes from your sense of work and health. So it may be something that's healthcare related. You know what I mean? Cut that off because that's gonna get real loud for me, please. Thank you. So it may be something in your health sector, in a sense. It'll be pretty dope. All right. Venus and Cap, man. But what house is it in? I like the house because see, the house is gonna tell you the area of your life. You know what I mean? That you really gotta tap it in. So Venus in the 11th, Coach Michael, is sweet because this is about you can have great friendships with this placement. Wherever Venus is warm. So the 11th house is friendships. So you can have a lot of relationships that are just great friendships, and then they can also be loving relationships such as marriage that are also great friendships as well. So with that placement, I feel like in relationships, people were never friends first, for the most part. I think it's very rare that relationships grow from a place of friendship. I think it goes from straight attraction, and then you bypass all the friend shit, and then it's like, I've been paying for everything or the dates and shit for 60 days or whatever, even if that long and shit. Now we knocking boots and then we in a relationship, right? So I think we totally bypass authentic friendship. With Venus in the 11th, that will give you the opportunity to have some great relationships, especially you and man. Like you would have female friends who would just love you, you know what I mean? And then one of those friendships or several of those friendships can really progress into marriage and whatnot. So that's a beautiful placement. And then it's also a very, very highly favorable placement for you to do social networking, whether it's through the computer, groups, technology, or physical meetups with people about the things that you like to talk about. That's going to make, like, people would naturally gravitate to you and see that you're a warm person with Venus in the 11th. So I really like that placement right there. All right. You weren't expecting Envy? Man, shit, you crazy. DJ Envy got like 30 jobs, man. Envy be working his ass off. All right, so Venus and Leo in a second. Venus and Leo, man. Venus and Leo is, to me, honestly, is where, that's Venus' real home. Like, I don't care what nobody tell me. That's a secret home to Venus. Venus and Leo is very warm, very loving, because Leo is love and Venus is a love energy as well. And it could be attention oriented because of the Leo factor and whatnot, but very loving. In the second house, that's the moolah. So then it's about, okay, what do you value? Now, Venus is theater, the theatrical arts, creative arts. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you're an artist and whatnot. You dedicating pieces to women in power, you know what I'm saying, would be a very good way for you to tap into, your artistry. Depicting women in power, women in love, you know what I'm saying, as well, would be a very favorable placement with that. And in return, it shall bring you some money, my friend. But because it translates to finances, you know what I'm saying. All right, man. So crypto scales, Venus in the 8th house. That's a very great placement for investments because the 8th house is other people's money, and Venus is the planet of money. So other people's money could deal with insurance policy. It can deal with lottery. It can deal with inheritance. It can deal with taxes. It can deal with joint partnerships with people, joint bank accounts. So Venus here is a very favorable thing for some form of investing in partnerships type of thing. So that's highly favorable for that. And then also translations to relationships. A relationship could be relationship secrets in a sense, because remember the 8th house is also sexual secrets, hidden things, and then Venus is a marriage partner. So it could either be you or your partner. You can attract a partner, have the experience where somebody's having a secret sexual affair. But that could also depends on how your Venus is placed. So in other words, if I was to look at your chart and you had these red lines, if I'm on astro.com and you got red lines from one planet going to this Venus and red lines from another planet going to Venus, and it's like, oh, your Venus is catching a lot of pressure, then the likelihood of these things happening starts to increase because of the communication, what's called aspects, or the lines that are going to the planet. So when you go to astro.com and you look at your chart, these colors, blue, red, green, but predominantly blue and red, they represent something. They represent a form of communication. You see what I'm saying? Red is more on the friction, challenging side, and blue is on the more harmonious opportunity side and whatnot. So if you were to have red lines going to that energy in the 8th, then it would be some type of cleanup and some type of secret affairs and whatnot. All right. But on the high side, it could also mean powerful, great transformational relationships that also, transformation is often forced upon us where it comes from some source of pain, but you can become better out of it. So that's a possibility. But then it can also be a great magnetic union where it's just not necessarily the sex aspect. It transcends into investing and sharing money. Venus in the 8th house demands, if you're in a relationship, that y'all gotta have a financial IQ together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta have shared resources, and money shouldn't be a taboo. You don't like to talk about money with your partner. That's bull. That totally goes against. I want to say go against. Again, if you got red lines going to your Venus, it plays directly into it. But it's about alchemy. How do you get rid of a negative? You add a positive to it, and then you start reducing the amount of negative, and eventually you change the polarity of the particular number by adding the opposite charge to it. So you would have to add the opposite charge to it, because I like that placement a lot, man, because you can get money and have sex together. So that's dope. All right. Yeah. Yep. So come on, man. Thumbs up if you haven't already. We can have this conversation. Hey, man, I gotta take advantage when I do this right here, because I really don't get on this vibe right here too often. So, say something. Hey, and if I gave you some game and do something, hey, drop something in the super chat. The super chat work. I'm gonna get on my K Samuels game. Let's get on the super. I ain't moving until I see some money come in. I ain't talking. They could be sticking up the whole chat, bro. But yeah, the super chat work, man. But give it to me, man. What you got? Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Life with the King. Appreciate you. You know, Life with the King. Katrina, Venus in the seventh with the sun. Ooh, that's a sexy placement right there. When Venus and the sun are together, for the individual, they come off very warm, very fun, very positive. And then if you can get it in synastry. And so, like, I vibe really well with Aries women. And so, if my Venus is in Aries, so if a woman is in Aries, her sun is obviously in Aries because she's in Aries. And so, if she's within like the first, especially within the first 12 days of Aries, getting closer to the 12th day, then it's on, you know what I mean? Really, technically, I can honestly say the first, about the first 22 days of Aries. But yeah, that there is off the chain. So if you can actually go back and then make this note that, hey, I have Venus here. You know your sun sign. That's when you're like, hey, I'm Aquarius, I'm Scorpio, I'm whatever. You know that. So if that person who you meet has Venus in your sun sign, there's chemistry. And then when you know where your Venus is at, and then that person's sun is in that sign where your Venus is, that's chemistry. Now, here's the kicker though. For heterosexual relationships, or the relationships, any relationships that can identify themselves as more of the masculine and yang, or masculine and feminine component, right? Because I was watching, the hell was I watching on Hulu? Black Love. Yo, that's a dope ass series on, I think it's on Hulu. Black Love. And there's a gay couple that's there, women. And what I mean by this masculine and feminine is because one of them on a wedding day dressed like a bride, and the other one had a suit on, like she was more of the masculine energy. And the way her haircut is just more what we would call masculine and whatnot. But it's interesting because they had a child and they both said that they're the moms. But anyway, my point is, when I'm talking about the masculine and feminine aspect, if you can identify with that, then what happens is, like, for example, there could be a role reversal. So if I'm telling you that my Venus is in Aries, and then I meet a woman that's in Aries, her sun is in Aries. The sun placement for her is a masculine aspect of who she is, simply meaning how she goes out and conquer and project her energy into the world. Whereas Venus is the feminine component of what likes to receive and feel and nurture and connect to. It's not the masculine outgoing yang. It's the internal receptive yin. So then there could be a role reversal. And what happens in the role reversal, if it's not necessarily positive, is the woman leads and then the man nurtures. Now, there's nothing wrong with that scenario if it works and there's a positive vibe. There's a way to figure that out, and it'll get too deep for me to do it, to show you in a sense, but there's a way to figure that out. Now, as I've said before, one of my favorite series that ever came on was, oh man, Ricky Skills, good looking, bro. Appreciate you. One of my favorite series that ever came on was Army Wives. Yo, that shit was the bomb. It was the bomb because it was talking about 5 different relationship types. You know what I'm saying? And let me know in the chat. Have you ever seen Army Wives? Did anybody watch that? Like, really watch it? You know what I'm saying? Like, really watch Army Wives. What's up, Samar? Army Wives was a shit, man. And you had a black couple, and that couple was a role reverse, because you remember the wife was in the army, Joan, and the dad stayed home with the baby, and he was a soft-spoken psychiatrist, and he's very soft-spoken. And since he stayed home with the baby, he was holding the baby, and he was playing the mommy role and whatnot. And and here's his woman off. She don't want to necessarily be in love and be mommy. She wants to go from colonel to lieutenant, and she wants to keep going up the military ladder. She's playing the masculine role. And so that's a role reversal. And then you have other relationships inside of there, like my favorite was my man who he wasn't in the army, but he was like in the Green Beret Special Forces. But they had a daughter and a son. You know what I mean? So their relationship was properly balanced because it was mommy, dad, daughter, son. And then the other relationships either had too many boys or too many girls. You see what I'm saying? And so it was a clever play on showing you different dynamics. Is what it was about, man. Army Wise was the shit, for real, for real. So anyway, Venus in the 7th. It naturally belongs there. The 7th is all about the western portion of the sky. This is where couples hold hands on the beach and they look at the sunset together. So Venus in the 7th has a very strong indicator in relationships, period. And it translates into business and or personal. So relationships is something that you absolutely have to value. And again, it don't have to be love. It can be money relationship, business relationships and whatnot. So relationships is paramount to the person that got Venus in the 7th. And they're fair, and you could be, Venus in the 7th should give you the ability to be a Supreme Court justice. You can weigh the scales evenly with no bias, depending on where your Mercury and your Moon at. But you're supposed to be able to, weigh the scales, all right? So I love Venus in the 7th, man. Venus in the 7th is dope. All right. For real. So did I miss anything? I don't know what house I'm in. Cancer. Tammy. So what you can do, Tammy, is go to astro.com, create a free account, and you got to know the time of your birth to get the house. So the time of your birth, obviously the city of your birth will tell you what's up. Because, in a nutshell, if I'm born on the East Coast at 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun is just now coming up in the east at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? And so, it's, it could be, 6 o'clock in the morning if you're in Central Time and whatnot. The sun is not even up yet. So for me, the sun is on, in my 12th house, it just came up. But somebody that's born Central Time, quote unquote, at the exact same time, but a different time zone, right? I'm born at 7 a.m., you're born at 6 a.m. The energy for me is visible. It just came up in the east. But since you're further west than me, you don't see what I see in the sky yet, because my portion of the earth has turned towards these planets. Your portion of the earth where you're at has not turned towards those planets yet. So therefore, the energy is in another location of space known as a house. So this is why it's important for you to know your time of birth, because we need to know what region of space were these planets located in, because these regions of space represent different type of energies. I say it every time. The morning time, sunrise to the high noon, the sun is in the south, to sunset, the sun is in the west. Those are 3 different energetic points throughout the day. You can feel it. You know what I mean? It's just, they're just different, So you need to know what time you were born to figure out the direction, i.e. house, of where the planets were at, okay? All right. Yeah, you got it, Crypto Scales, you got it. Share some good crypto news with us, man. What's making money for you? I'm very interested in that conversation. Yeah, have my cake and eat it too. Have my cake and eat it too. You still here? You gotta tell us about yourself. How we merged the video. You gotta come on and have a conversation with us. What you mean you gonna have your cake and eat it too? How dare you have the audacity to think you can have your cake and eat it too? Hey, can we merge the videos with people? They got that feature? We need to figure it out, guys. That'll be something like a Zoom. All right, so y'all got anything else for me? Anything? I just wanted to come on real fast and see what was up, man. I'm gonna start making some pre-recorded stuff, man, to upload more on the production side to give y'all some things to, to look at, do some things. So yeah, give it to me in the chat. What you working with? What is it? V-Chain, Vector buy and hold. Make a note on that. We're gonna look into that. V-Chain, Vector buy and hold. All right. You got Libra Midhaven with Pluto. So Pluto, that's powerful people in position of authority. You gotta make sure these people don't try to abuse their authority and or you don't abuse your authority. Pluto in the 10th, I'm not necessarily a fan of. It could be extremely domineering, but Pluto's energy of power is very subtle and manipulative. It's sneak control. You know what I'm saying? It's not flat out Martian. It's more of let me cut your hours at work type of vibe because you pissed me off and I'm your supervisor and I'm gonna make y'all work Saturday or some shit. You know what I mean? It's manipulative and controlling is the thing. So they're in the 10th because it deals with influential people. You got to make sure that these are not power hungry people, and then you yourself are not power hungry like that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find that balance. Yep. So man, I'm about to create a whole new channel. Not on this, on YouTube, but it's gonna be on some good political conversation, man. That's what my passion is at right there. I'm about to start getting busy. Over here, man. I told you we had to build this thing out and just, doing so much, man. It's phenomenal and whatnot. But I still am possibly, I don't know, because I've been occupying that space. But if you know someone that's young, that's motivated, a self-starter, let me know, you know what I mean? Because the goal was for me to share this space with young, self-started, motivated people, Generation X, and Z, to give them a shot to get on this path of success. I just wanted to give them a shot to get on this path, without having to worry about rent, without having to worry about, I pay the light bill, I pay the gas bill, we pay the water bill, you ain't got no rent, what's your excuse now? And I think the things we have, whether it be the real estate or media production, like you literally figure out how you can turn this into a media production would be dope. So you gotta have some motivation. I don't like telling people what to do. You need to know what to do and execute because that's what you want to do. I can't stand having to tell somebody what to do, especially a grown ass man. That bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? So if you're a self-starter, want to learn, I'm coming out with a course, more of a personal mentor thing. In fact, y'all can visit the new website. It's up. The Family Wealth Club is finally up. I'm going to send a mass email out, super duper mass email out. So check out the new website, The Family Wealth Club, super duper clean. Everything in the Wealth Club now is automated, as far as the course content when you come in. And you click on videos, and then we also got a questionnaire on certain things. And there's things you have to do so you can progress to the next set of stuff. You know what I'm saying? In truth, it's what I had to do to figure it out, and then, like I say, you know, be able to buckle down within the 18-month time period and build a $1 million, you know, rental portfolio of holdings. You know what I'm saying? So it was buckling down, taking time off YouTube, and figuring it out. You know what I mean? And so the steps that I figured it out was like the millionaire's pledge. Like I'm like, yo, month this, I want to become a millionaire, and I wrote a pledge. I pledge allegiance, like a pledge allegiance to this stuff, right? They got a flag on it. Yo, I pledge that from this day forward, I will forever become a millionaire, and I will work 10 times hard to do it. So help me God. Print it, sign it. And I'm like, okay, I'm dedicated. But did that make me a millionaire? No, but I got it somewhere where it's gonna smack me in my face because I said I wanted to do it. So I know if I'm being true to it or if I'm not. And then what was the next step after that? And then I said, okay, I need to create a family mission statement. You know what I'm saying? And a family crest, right? So a few years ago, we created King Private Capital, right? Me and my son, that's right here. And so it's like, all right, what other ideas that we can have? What three things should be on our shield? And that was more his baby, but the crest was something we created. It was like, here, we're gonna park this for you because since you got private capital, you can segue into anything. We can invest in cars, we can invest in housing, you can do anything with that thing. It's not, you know, it's like you would bank with that name and whatnot. So then we created the crest and the mission statement. So then that became paramount. What's my values as a family, where I'm going, what we doing, and then I just kept on progressing. So check it out, thefamilywealthclub.com. New site is super dope. Okay? All right, so your daughter's 24. No booing up. It's a zero policy of boo up. Like I have zero, no boyfriends, girlfriends are spending the night. It don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's strictly, let's get straight to it. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man, and I know a lot of y'all know. Like when we got in our 20s, it's like we damn sure lost 10 years from 20 to 30. That shit just went, and we just wasted our fucking lives, I feel like. It didn't have no serious direction and planted some seeds, plant some seeds for some true wealth later that we can benefit from, right? But it's really from 20 to 40. And it's 40, you had this rude awakening known as the midlife crisis. Maybe we'll talk about that on the next vid and whatnot. And so the goal is to get these youngins who are, at that particular 18 in their 20s to really focus in and let's build. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal. So Tammy, just give me a call. We can talk about it for sure. See if it's a fit. All right, so that is 8 cents, and VTHO is a penny. I like those numbers because you can become very profitable in those numbers. So I like to look at 5-year highs just to get an idea if it ever, you know what I mean? If it, what was its highest in 5 years, and then all time as well. So yeah, we'll look at that. All right, so I'm getting a low battery. You just popped up. Your Mac will sleep soon and it's plugged into a power outlet. It's not, wow, hanging out. This right here. What? Whole fat charger. Stand out products, man. All right, so y'all good? I just want to chime in, man. Y'all straight? All right, man. And I'm gonna get back to my regular schedule. I'm gonna have to start. Definitely a sun guy. It's nighttime stuff. All right, so check it out, man. The Family Wealth Club. Seriously, go check it out. The Family Wealth Club. The Family Wealth Club is super clean, super dope right now. Joy, I got some shit for you. And the challenge is, can we become millionaires? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to get to the next generation. How I did it. You know what I'm saying? How did you
do that shit in 18 months of grabbing properties. If you sold them all, you have $1 million. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that shit? You know what I mean? And give you the opportunity to get some residual income that comes in, and don't fall for the double up like I talked about. Don't fall for the double up, the pump fake, and consistently build on some cash flow. Not that you can't do double up ventures, but learn to build cash flowing assets that's gonna pay you forever. Because next thing you know, two things gonna happen. You don't have to go to work like that to a 9 to 5 that you dread. And then next thing you know, you still own the building. The guy, I remember when Jay-Z was on the Breakfast Club, and they asked him, I think they asked him about selling the Nets and whatnot, and Jay said something very slick, and he was like, yeah, you know, and it kind of, I don't know if they caught it, but he was like, I still own the building. Like, yeah, I sold my rights to the Nets, and yeah, that's gone, but nigga, I own I own the building. I got a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? And so while you looking to double up, and a lot of us never actually double our money, we fuck it up, the cash, you know, the tax money be gone, the stimulus will be gone. You know what I mean? If you can put it into a cash flowing asset that can bring you a great return, you partner up with somebody, do some deals. And then what you can do, what happens is, next thing you know, let's say you did find you something on a property, you got you a property, and I got 15 grand and you trying to turn 15 into 30. Well, I'm saying I got a deal on the table that's 15 grand and the house is worth 70. So you can take the 15 grand, buy the house, and get the little cash flow every month that you can be free and clear. Let's say after taxes and insurance, you can make $500 easy, $6,000 a year, and whatnot, versus you getting stuck on turning 15 to 30. That $500 a month or $6,000 a year is 5 years to get to that 30,000. Now, it's a good chance that a lot of people have never even had 30,000. So you don't even have the experience to do it. You see what I'm saying? It's double up till you get to this big ass number, and then you think you're gonna take this big ass number and start investing and get these smaller trinkets of cash flow. You gotta go with the momentum. Get the money up, the momentum, put it in something, and then the law of the first deal will create another deal and opportunity for you and whatnot. And then next thing you know, you're looking at this one and it's worth 70 and you only paid 15 for it. You're looking at this one like, oh shit, I'm all in on this one 40, but it's really, that was worth 80. You see what I'm saying? And so you gotta learn how to do, and Grant Cardone taught me that. He taught me in a millionaire booklet, he taught me to stay broke. He didn't say poor, he said stay broke. You know what I mean? As soon as you get money, you better get rid of it. I can't keep money. I'm broke as a motherfucker. Broke, super broke. But if I go pull out that portfolio over there and show you what we got, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, this is worth it. So you gotta find great deals, and I talked about that in the last one. Because talking about Venus and values. Find what you value. Find something that is valuable. Find something that is good and ride that wave, man. All right? Okay. See you later, man. Appreciate ya. Love ya. Peace.